I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror since 2014. This is episode 244 of the program. Tonight we are going to be discussing Society of the Snow, Spain's entry into the Academy Awards for this year. My name's Amy, I'm your fearless leader, joined as always by my lovely and talented co-host, Jaime.
Hola.
Hola. Did you watch this dubbed or subtitled?
Subtitles.
I noticed that they had the option up there. I almost dubbed it for Kay because she doesn't like... Did it?
Yeah, I don't like dubbed movies.
I don't prefer dubbed, no. Me neither.
I get too distracted that it doesn't match their mouths.
And also, my dog chews really loudly, so I have to turn it up really loud, so subtitles are easier anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'll just miss stuff if it's dubbed. So that's what we're talking about tonight. We've had some gross weather. It's been wet and rainy.
Yeah.
This movie made me very cold.
Yes.
Did it make you cold while you were watching it?
It made me feel chilly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Made me real cold.
Yep.
It's definitely a movie about people versus the elements. Humans versus nature. So that's our roundtable question for tonight. What is one of your, or more, of your favorite horror movies that involves humans versus nature or the elements? Would you like to go first, Jaime?
Oh, sure. I would say the one that is top of mind for me, because it gave me a lot of anxiety, and the themed ride at Universal Studios also gave me a lot of anxiety, that is based on this movie. And that is Twister.
Oh, Twister. You love that ride.
Yep. Listen, I love the movie, and I liked the weird, it wasn't even a ride. It was just like the Twister experience. You stand
Twister
there.
experience and feel the Twister.
Yeah, and you get that really hilarious, intro from Bill Paxton, R.I.P.
Right.
And I know I've talked about Twister on the podcast before, but it was it was a movie that just was cemented in my brain when it came out, because there was still obviously when the theater experience was a huge deal, and I always I love storms, but I always kind of had a healthy fear of tornadoes anyway.
Well, yeah, we're Midwesterners.
Yeah. So this movie, I remember feeling incredibly anxious in the theater. And then I remember it gave me high anxiety, I don't know, for a couple years, anytime there were storms. And I was always a storm lover, but then I got nervous about tornadoes. And then that GD quote unquote ride at Universal Studios was way too realistic. And I remember being I gotta close my eyes. I'm very uncomfortable.
Really? So it was triggering for you?
It very much was.
That's a good choice. And then people do that as a hobby. Chasing storms.
People just do that as a hobby. And they're so unpredictable, and they can just change course so quickly, and they're huge, and they're so destructive. And it's just nature. It's just wind. It's just wind. It's just currents. It's just air currents. Warm air and cold air doing its thing, mingling.
Just the unbridled power of nature.
Yeah. I mean, we don't see that so much. You do see it to some extent in this movie, and there is just sort of the it's a lot more isolating, the concept in this one, where it's kind of you're dropped in the middle of nowhere. But how they crash on the plane is very much just the weird workings of nature, and how it creates this sort of suction action for planes as they I don't know how else to put it, as they go through this certain pass of the mountains, and it creates this vacuum of air, and if you aren't planning it just right, and you don't have enough power, or your plane's got too much weight or something, like, you're not going to be able to pull out of it in time. You're not going to be able to stay above it.
All right, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. It's just, damn nature. He's scary.
You scary, nature. I was very scared of the other movie based on this story when I was a kid. I was very scared of Alive.
Yeah.
We had a one of those cable boxes where it was unscrambled, so you got all the channels.
Oh, those were fun.
Including the pay-per-view channels. And Alive was running on pay-per-view when we had this box, like, for the short time that it worked for us. Uh-huh. So I must have watched that movie, I don't know, 20 times.
Really?
And I was really traumatized by the crash scene.
I remember watching it in school. Like, we had a substitute teacher, so they rolled in the TV and VCR,
right,
and we watched that. And that was the first time. And I remember thinking that it was like, I remember being uncomfortable. Like, I don't like it. This one made me feel more of that, like, more tense. I felt physically sick in one part.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, and that wasn't even from human eating. That was nothing.
No, I think I know which part. Well, we'll see. We'll talk about it. Alive did that for me for sure as a kid. And that's a good humans versus the elements kind of movie. But then another one I thought of is Open Water. Do you remember that shark movie with that couple? I think that's also based on a true story. That couple that was stranded and just were waiting in the water to get eaten. Yep. That was terrifying. And it's not just the sharks that they have to contend with. You know, it's the temperature of the water. And
the sun. Like, everything. Yeah, that movie was good.
Yes, it was. I would like to watch that again. That gave me a lot of stress.
Uh-huh.
And then I also thought of Life of Pi. Although that's not a horror movie.
No, not at all. And isn't that pretty much just, like, fantastical? Like,
well, it's somebody stranded on a raft in the middle of the ocean trying to survive.
Right, but, like, in a beautiful and very enjoyable to watch way.
Well, he didn't have a fun time while he was doing it.
It looked like he was having a fun time.
It's just a pretty movie.
The tiger was
still
cool.
Struggling. Yes, the tiger was
I'll never
cool.
forget the scene where it's, like, the overhead shot and you see all the, like, bioluminescence and the whales, like, swimming underneath. That was so pretty.
Very pretty movie. What are some other ones that you can think of?
There's got to be a good, like, underwater type one where it's like, or what was it was a stupid movie, but even the one that we saw with, was it 47 Meters Down?
Yeah.
Where just the thought of slowly suffocating because your oxygen is running low, and it's like, yeah, you can't survive. You're on Earth, like, but you're in this totally, like, unsurvivable situation, and everything's working against you, like the pressure and lack of oxygen. There's no light.
That could be the same. Same thing could be said for Underwater, which I just watched.
Yeah,
about a mining team drilling at the bottom of the ocean, where their mining operation gets, like, compromised, and so the pressure's destroying it.
Ugh.
Pretty scary. Or like Outer Space. You could think of a lot of movies.
Well, yeah,
Outer
we were
Space.
just talking about the new movie ISS, the International Space Station one. Mm-hmm. Space is similar concept in that, like, even though it feels very claustrophobic and crushing to me, even in its vastness and its, like, infiniteness, like, the thought of it and the complete and utter inability to wrap my head around the concept, like, makes it terrifying to me.
Sure.
I used to be very afraid of space and things about space, and now I think I've probably talked about it before. Now I'm to a place where,
I remember you saying this,
I appreciate it, and, like, I like the fear of it, but it's just the fact that, like, even just the concept of, like, it's infinite, it's never ending, but it's always expanding. Like, I can't even, I don't math, and I only dabble in some biological sciences. That concept is bananas to me.
It's too much of a vast concept for people to be able to put into perspective, I think.
And so I think like that's what makes it feel so claustrophobic, is that like it's almost like all of that, like the impossibility of understanding that just feels like it weighs on you, and it's like very crushing, and like your brain doesn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, the immensity.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that just like, if you were just floating out there, like that'd be it.
Yeah, the idea of just drifting into space until you die is pretty scary.
Yeah, I don't like that thought at all.
No. The movie I just watched this morning, Naiad, about the swimmer, has a lot of like man versus elements kind of stuff. Okay. All kinds of shit happens to her. She gets stung by a jellyfish, almost dies. Her heart stops for 15 seconds.
Jeez.
The currents are off and it almost kills her. It was pretty cool, pretty rousing. I didn't remember whether or not anybody actually ever swam from Florida to Cuba, so I had to like watch myself.
Haven't
and not
they?
Well, now that lady has.
Yeah, that okay.
In 2013.
I was like, I know at least someone has, and so I figured it would be at least this lady.
Mm-hmm. She did it when she was 64.
What a girl.
Mm-hmm. Good for her.
Good for her.
Listeners, what are some of your favorite movies that involve people versus the elements? I think the Mad Max movies are kind of like that, just because the elements there are so harsh and unforgiving.
Yeah. That
Especially
is true.
Thunderdome. Beyond Thunderdome.
I mean, it's not really humans versus the elements or nature per se, but...
No, it's not.
Oh, well, neither is this one that I was about to say. But I would say, like, The Descent.
Mm-hmm.
Just the idea of, like, caves.
Terrifying.
And the blackness and, like... And then it always makes me think of that story of that guy. I think it was in Utah. I don't know what state it was in, but he was going into a cave and he was with this small group, I guess. Or, yeah, because there's no way he would have been by himself. And he crawled in it, and it was like this tiny ass little, like the smallest space to crawl in it, and he got stuck.
Oh, that's right. And he couldn't go backwards because it would crush his chest or something.
Right. And they couldn't pull him out, and they got to a point where they were like maybe almost pulling him out, and then the ropes or something came off and he slid further down, and they just had to leave him. And he like died after, I think it was like in less than 24 hours or around 24 hours, something like that, because he was essentially upside down.
Because of the position his body was in, he probably drowned.
Yeah. And he like, and and all the blood and stuff goes to like pools at the top of your body. You're upside down. Like, I can think of few things more terrifying.
Yeah, that slow death.
Than that concept of being trapped in a dark, confined spot and knowing that like this is it. And it's just slowly drawn out.
There's a couple good parts of Underwater that are like that, where they have to, when the base ends up falling apart, where they have to crawl under things and stuff, and it's pretty claustrophobic.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not enjoy that at all.
I enjoy it in that I don't enjoy it.
Same. And so that is related to the scene in this movie that made me feel physically sick.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get to it. We won't talk too much longer about roundtable things. Why don't we get going talking about the movie? Listeners, let us know what your favorite horror movies are that involve humans versus the elements or versus nature. I'm sure you can come up with some good ones, too. All right, Jamie, would you like to start talking about Society of the Snow?
Snow. Yes,
Snow.
and apologize ahead of time for any butchering of any of these names.
These are not very easy.
Nope, they're not.
Good luck to you.
Thanks. So, this was directed by J.A. Bayona. Sorry,
Bayona.
Bayona. Written by J.A. Bayona and Bernat, Vilaplana, Jaime Marques, Nicolas, Casariego, and it's based on a book by Pablo Vierci. Yeah, I am a gringo. if you cannot tell.
I think you did fine.
Great. It's rated R. Well, we're not done yet. It's rated R. It's got a running time of 2 hours, 24 minutes. It stars Enzo Vogrincic, Agustin, Pardella, Matias, Recalt, Esteban, Bigliardi.
Nice job.
It premiered at the Venice Film Festival September 9th of 2023. It was released it had limited theater release starting December 23rd of 2023, and it was released on streaming on Netflix January 4th, 2024. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's 91% fresh for critics, 85% fresh from audience ratings.
Very high.
Yeah.
And it is nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, it's very nice.
This is a true story that's been remade a couple of times. It's about a rugby team from what? Where are they from? Oh, God. Argentina, right?
Yeah, they're going to Chile.
Yeah. And they charter a plane. There's 40 of them on board. And they're going over the Andes Mountains, like Jaime said. And the plane crashes. It hits a mountain and it breaks apart. And the people in the front of the plane, we follow them because the rest of them are killed.
Yeah.
So the tail and the wings fly off and away, and the people in the front of the plane that don't die are stuck there. And they're stuck there for 71 days, 72 days, something like that.
Yeah.
And 14 of them make it out. And they made this movie 30 years after Alive, the one that traumatized me as a child. I can't believe it's 30 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this is the director of The Orphanage, which is one of my favorite older horror movies. That was from 2007.
We're calling those older horror movies now?
I guess so.
Sweet Jesus. All right.
It's been almost 20 years.
Yeah, okay. Ugh, wasn't ready for that, but sure.
So, Jaime, what did you think about this movie?
I liked this movie. I liked it quite a bit. It made me uncomfortable. I was already familiar with the story. I tend to enjoy these sort of like survivor stories, and just like stories that highlight or show like the amazing things and the amazing like situations that humans can endure. Obviously not all humans, but it's amazing that 14 made it 71 days, like in the middle of nowhere of the Alps. And like, I mean, just, that's what I meant. The Andes. Like just that concept alone is it's so awesome. Like, I think it's easy to forget because we're just like sacks of meat. Like it's easy to forget what you as a human being are actually can be capable of, and like what you can endure and what you can survive.
Yeah. And how resilient people are.
How resilient you can be, and what it has to take. And I think I like these kinds of movies too, because, and this one's very well done. So it kind of gets this, it sort of allows the viewer to do this in a much stronger way than some other ones I've seen. But like, you really can put yourself in that situation, and you can't help but spend the whole time imagining, like, what would I do? Like, what would I be doing? And I think it's easy to just like quickly say, well, I wouldn't do that, or I would do that. But like, you don't know. Like, it's such an impossible
you don't know what
situation
kind of person you are in this situation.
Yeah, to consider. And you see, I think all the actors in this did a really nice job of sort of conveying the just general hopelessness, but also this determination to overcome that and continue to fight and try to find a way out and not give up. Like, I think that, I just think it's a very cool thing to see, and I think this movie did it really well. It's beautiful. Like,
oh yeah,
this movie is
all those great tracking shots of the mountains.
Of the mountains, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, that's nature, though. You know, she's beautiful and also like terrifying and can kill you and destroy you. But I think I like this movie because it even showed them, and you kind of get a sense that there are even moments, even though they're in this horrible situation, where they kind of still appreciate and accept that it's beautiful. You know, that
beautiful.
Like you can't deny that part of it. I think it's interesting because Becky, friend of the podcast, watched this also and said it felt a little long to me. And I said, I felt that too, but that I almost took that as, I don't know if it was purposefully done, but I took that as they wanted you as the viewer to feel like you were stuck in this situation, like stuck watching this for a long period of time. Like,
Yeah.
And to feel like, when is this going to end? Because you're watching people feel the exact same thing. Like,
Right.
Where's the end to this?
And they go through the whole ordeal, I think, better than Alive did, in that, you know, they actually show the expedition where they didn't before, where the guys leave.
I liked that
hike.
part a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
I don't think it could have been shorter, you know, the way that they balanced everything out.
I think it would have sacrificed some stuff if they tried to make it any
because
shorter.
what would we lose then? Would we lose some of the interactions? Because I thought those were all really realistic, and
I thought those were like beautiful. Like
I agree. I think it really brought something to the movie.
Yeah. Like especially
it showed how they survived, because they were able to lean on each other for strength.
And even the scene where they were, after, you know, they're talking, obviously everyone knows this, who's familiar with the story knows that there's the concept, like, that they ate some of the people who had already died. And just that concept and what that internal struggle must be like, where you know that without a doubt you have to do it in order to survive. Like, you will not be able to survive without doing it.
Right.
And the scene where they're all sort of coming to grips with that, and they all sort of give permission to do that. And then at one point, someone dies and leaves a note too that says, like, there's no better reward than being
to lay down one's life for one's friends.
For one's friends. Like, it was incredibly powerful and poignant, and it's just like, in such a horrible situation, it was just like a very beautiful human scene.
Right. And it shows you that those kind of circumstances often bring out things in people that they didn't even know that they had.
Yeah.
And great, and they can perform great actions and do great things because of it.
Yeah. I just think, I thought it was really well done. I liked it a lot. It was not necessarily from any one character's point of view, but it did seem to kind of stick with the one guy the most. What was his name? Like
Numa.
Mm-hmm. It did kind of seem to follow his story more closely. Like, he was maybe the thread through.
He was the narrator.
Well, okay, that's what I thought too. So, so I guess
which I thought was really smart.
Yeah, and the real one plays a character in the movie.
Yeah, several of them play.
He plays the role of airport family member.
One of them plays the guy who's reading off all the names.
Yeah,
is one of them.
Yep,
he plays his own dad.
He's Carlitos Paez. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is really cool.
Well, I thought the actor playing Numa started off looking like
Adam Driver,
and then ended looking sort of like shit. Now I can't even think of his name. He's from James Franco.
Yep.
I was just like, wow, like the nature really changes you. Like, he looked so much like Adam Driver in the beginning. It was
he did
crazy,
like a handsomer Adam Driver.
Yeah, it was just funny. That's funny you thought that too. So I wasn't crazy.
No, I read that it was filmed in chronological order, which makes a lot of sense because they wanted to make their weight loss look realistic, and they did.
They did.
Woo.
They did.
They did a real nice job with that. They gave you a real great sense of how miserable it was out there, too. I think this one did a great job of that. I feel like this movie makes Alive look like an after-school special.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't remember it feeling like this visceral or realistic.
Yeah, visceral is a really good way to put it. The only thing that, as many times as I watched it, it's pretty seared into my memory. I feel like the plane crash was maybe a little bit more exciting and alive, more action movie-ish, but this one was likely more realistic, more like what really happened.
Yeah, it made. I don't like a plane
There's that
crash
scene when they were all flying forward, just watching everybody get smushed. Oof.
Watching bones break. Everyone just smash in the seats. Oh, that was intense. That was a rough scene. But the one that I was talking about that made me feel physically a bit ill was, so this is like days after they had already crashed. I think it'd been like maybe at least 30 or something like that. There's obviously a much smaller group of them still around at this point. And there's a scene where they're all kind of just relaxing in the inside of the plane, and it's windy outside, and they're doing like a rhyming game where they like they just go to each person and they give like some sort of rhyme. They're obviously just like keeping spirits up and stuff. They're massaging each other's feet, to keep them warm and keep blood circulating. It's just like a very nice scene. And then you hear this like rumbling, and then before you know it, there's like an avalanche that buries them and crushes some of them, but it buries them in the nose of the plane and under what looks to be like 6 or 7 feet of snow.
That was terrifying.
That
was the scariest part of the movie.
It came out of nowhere. I had, at that point, like, completely forgot that an avalanche was something that they maybe should be worried about a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they were right in the middle of a big storm, too.
Right. And when that happened, just the sound of it and how quickly it happened, and that when they sort of, like, came to afterwards, so many of them are just buried under the snow, and you can hear them, and they're trying to dig them out. And even then, like, they can't get out because they're buried in this just that thought of being trapped, and now like your space is even more confined,
trapped in the ice too.
Yeah, like that was just horrifying to me. I hated that. And even
when it came back too, when they're watching it come.
Oh yeah. And when Numa eventually starts digging through it and they all have to crawl through the little snow,
that long tube.
That made me so uncomfortable. I was like, this is such a small fucking space. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
I think you might be a little claustrophobic, but...
Oh, I am. I do not like confined spaces.
Kay said that reminded her of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when he comes out of the hole.
Oh, of the second one? When Nature Calls?
I don't know. The one where he comes out of the rhino's butt.
The rhino's butt, yeah.
Yeah.
God, this is one of my favorite scenes. It's so good. But yeah, that
avalanche was really scary. This was, to me, now listeners, I know that this is a horror adjacent film, but I hope you don't mind us doing it because I haven't felt this terrified in quite a long time. I feel like they did a great job with that.
I think we've talked before that there are just a lot of movies that I think the horror genre and the horror community in general should be able to just like happily accept.
I agree.
Because it's subjective. And like Amy and I have both said, like, this concept is terrifying.
If Jaws is a horror movie, this is a horror movie.
100%. Like, people die. There's cannibalism. Sure, it's within the concept of like human survival, but there is. And you see it. Like, I mean, not super graphic,
it's a horrifying thing. It's a horrifying story.
It is a terrifying concept.
It's maybe one of the most terrifying concepts I can think of.
Yeah. It successfully made me feel very tense and cold and
freezing
and nervous. And even when they all like, they got the group of them towards the end and they bundled up to go on their expedition or whatever, like, that is just such a scary concept. But you know that, like, you have to. No one's coming for you.
No.
Because they do have, like, a radio. And they keep hearing on the radio that they've called off the search. And, that they've flown by multiple times and haven't seen anything. So they're calling it off. And so,
and just the fact that they walk all the way up that hill and when they turn around, they can't see the plane. It's like, if we can't see it from here, they're never going to find us.
Right.
And they did a good job with the team captain trying to be a sense of hope for everybody and trying to remain hopeful, but then the other ones being more practical.
Yeah.
They did a nice job of showing all of that.
Yep. Yeah.
One of the other scenes that I thought was really powerful was when they were trapped at night and were trying to, the three of them, and they were trying to huddle together. And then they just, that looked like, that was one of the most terrifying things.
It looked miserable. I was like, I don't know how, I just can't even imagine. Like, it's saying, like, hit me. Like, they're having to hit each other this whole time because, one, you don't want to fall asleep.
Right.
And two, you want to hit, like, you want to keep blood pumping. You got to, like, keep trying to move. They have to use each other's body heat. They don't have sleeping bags. They don't have anything. They've just got their own clothes and whatever clothes they've been able to find from suitcases. Not to mention, they've all been, like, losing significant amounts of body fat. So
of
they're
course,
essentially
and muscle
just,
too.
yeah. So they're pretty much just skin and bone at this point. Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
And the next day, the guy's eyes are... I want to know how many things these people lost from frostbite.
I was curious about that, too, because I was like, there's no way that you can have that much exposure to those temperatures and those winds.
How do they have ears and noses still?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how that guy still had his eyes.
Oh. Yeah, that was a rough
But
scene.
I think that it was made really well. I think they focused on the exact right things. You know, they really made us feel the smallness of them in that vast environment. Mm-hmm. They made us feel the cold. They made us feel the claustrophobia. Mm-hmm. And they also made us feel the connections between the characters. And I think they did a good job of fleshing them out. You know, it's pretty easy to differentiate between people after pretty quickly.
Yep, I agree.
And they all feel like fleshed out characters. I liked that they went into the daily kind of struggles more in this one than they did in Alive. I know I'm comparing it a lot, but, you know, it's the same story.
Well, yeah,
so.
right.
It was interesting to see how they made things like the water catchers and how they used the seats and stuff like that. And used the seat belts to make like little hammocks for the people who are injured. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool. It also went into some of the grosser stuff, like how their pee was black.
That part, that was gnarly.
I had no idea that was a thing that would happen.
Yep.
The loose tooth on the one guy, that skeeved me out really bad. I think the only thing that grossed me out enough that I almost gagged was when the guy ate his scab.
Oh, I must have blinked or missed that part.
Did you miss that?
Yeah.
A guy eats a scab. And,
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. I mean, I get it. I get the idea.
Yeah.
But... And I also... I thought that conversation about eating people was very interesting, too, because they talked about consent, that the people didn't give their consent. And I was like, what an interesting concept.
Yeah. I know. It was. That was just a hard scene. That's one of those things where it's like, as you're watching it and like you're thinking like, what would I do? That sort of thing. Like that's so impossible to try and comprehend, because then they even talk about it too, where they're like the cousins, were they cousins or brothers, whatever it was, like
the ones that have to do all the cutting up.
They were the stronger ones, or like they had a stronger stomach and it didn't bother them as much. So yeah, they were the ones responsible for dismembering and like cutting up the meat and stuff. And then they would bring in, and it would be just like on a little piece of plain metal. And it looked like just like chicken cutlets. And it's like, yeah, you would have to just like tell yourself and convince yourself that that's what it is.
I feel like if you're that hungry, you'll eat anything. The guy was eating
100%.
shoelaces.
Yeah, you will. I know, I was waiting for that to happen, where it's like there's got to be leather shoes.
I was waiting for them to eat their shoes, yeah. I remember with all the, what do you call it? The Donner Pass.
Yeah.
They ate their belts, they ate their shoes.
Yep. Yeah.
Crazy.
I
like the use of silence in this. The sound design was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way that they made it sound so quiet, especially in those storm scenes, and then hearing that sound and everything. I think the sound design was really well done in this.
Oh, yeah. Because that's, I mean, unless there's really strong winds that you're hearing whipping around you, which you do in some parts of this. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, there's nothing
to hear.
there.
There's nothing alive.
And everything is all sound is being dampened by the snow. So even if there was something, like, you just don't hear it. Although they hear, like, a plane or something at some point. But, like, yeah, there's no animals up there. There are no birds up there.
They hear a bird once and they all do little bird calls.
Yeah, and that part was really cute. They were all, like, what a hidden party trick that they all happen to be really good at one bird call. They all had different bird calls, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was intense. At the end, like, you're with them for so long, and you're like, you're so deep into this situation that they're in, and you like feel almost like you're going through it with them because it's so well done that by the end, when the sense of relief when they finally are found is like, it's just, that is also a kind of intensity that I think the movie pulls off very successfully.
I love the fact that they get the radio working at the, in the first act and get it to, or maybe the second, I don't know. And have to hear that they've canceled the search.
Yeah.
But then at least they get to hear that their friends have been found.
Yep.
And get time to like try and make themselves presentable, which I thought was so cute.
It was.
Yeah.
Then you could see where they were like tightening belts and they're just so thin, but they're also like trying to like grease down their hair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cute. And then they're like, what do we do with this? And you just see like discarded rib cages and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, they even show earlier the guys just picking off of rib cages and stuff, like how commonplace it becomes after a while.
Yeah.
And they don't go into showing them hacking up bodies or anything, but they definitely don't gloss over it.
No. It's definitely like a big part of it because it was a huge part of them being able to survive for that long.
Right.
I don't know that they would have.
They definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And they do it very respectfully with the dead, too, where anytime somebody dies, they show their name and their age on there. And they always are quick to have one of the guys collected all of their stuff and put it all together, which I thought was also cute.
I liked that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they put it in the suitcase and refused to get rescued without being able to bring it. Mm-hmm. And I liked how it didn't show all of them, but many of them took like some little souvenir.
Something from the plane, yeah.
Like they took the exit sign or they took like the curtain or something. Like they all wanted a little piece of it. Which I thought it was crazy when I read that they, once a year, they do an annual guided tour.
One of the cousins who cut the people up does it.
Yeah, that's wild to me. And then there's another one that apparently goes back almost every year too, like goes to it.
That's the guy who goes back every year anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, but I thought I read that there was another one. Like there's one who's like almost, I don't know if he's the guide of it, but he goes every single year. But there was another one who I thought I read goes pretty often too. Maybe not every single year, but makes it a pretty regular thing.
Why?
I don't know. Well, because I just got to imagine that, like, of all the horribleness that took place there and all the fear, there's also probably this huge sense of, like, you conquered something and you survived something and you made it through something. And it's probably in some way, like, would help with healing and accepting that and not, and, like, having a constant reminder that, like, I made it through this.
Yeah, I suppose. I feel like if you could get through that, you could probably get through anything. Yeah. As long as they had cigarettes. I mean, I can't imagine they would have made it if they hadn't run out.
Supply of cigarettes.
Evidently, one of the people on the charter was like a cigarette rep, which is why they had so many cigarettes. Because I was wondering that.
That makes sense then. I was like, you guys are heavy smokers.
It was the 70s.
They all brought carry-on with just cigarettes.
Just cigarettes. That one bag, the one suitcase they open is all cigarettes in the movie, too.
Yep.
But none of them had lip balm.
No.
Nary a lip balm in any of those suitcases.
What a shame.
God. How did they even do that with special effects?
I don't know. I feel like you just got to put some sort of like drying.
It's probably just spirit gum that
agent.
they pull off. Yeah, liquid latex.
Yeah.
But man, it looks nasty.
Oh, sure did.
But I really liked where they ended this. I liked everything that they covered. I liked the beginning that they showed the rugby game. I liked the end where they showed them together at the hospital, feeling like, you know, nobody understands us. We're still alone.
Yeah.
But all we can really do is stay together.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I give this a 4.5.
Yeah, I probably would. I will too. I liked this a lot.
And I would recommend this to people who are not necessarily horror fans. I feel like horror fans are going to like this, but I feel like regular people are going to like this too.
Yeah. Agreed.
It is long, but I don't think it feels, I think it feels appropriate.
Yeah. Yep. Normally that length would likely bother me in a movie, but it didn't feel that long. And I didn't notice it as I was watching it in a way that it was like bothering me.
No.
More just like this ordeal. Like
more like I'm freezing.
Yeah, I'm cold. This needs to end. Not like I'm not enjoying myself in this movie.
No. Is there anybody who wouldn't recommend this to? Do you think mainstream audiences are going to like this?
I think so.
It's a very human
survivor
story.
Movies, like disaster type movies. Yeah. Movies where humans rise above like impossible situations and persevere and make it through. I think those are pretty widely loved.
You don't think the cannibalism will turn people off?
They don't dwell on that. It's not a huge focus. Like it happens, but it's very much within the context of like straight up survival. It's not gratuitous. They don't, like I said, there's no like blood and guts. Really,
no, there's very little blood.
There's a very like quick scene of intestines at the towards the very end, which was interesting. But like, you almost just don't feel gross about it as you're watching it because you understand. You've been with them long enough. They do such a good job of setting up the situation that they're in and letting you realize that like they're gonna die out here. You know, if they don't, and you see how so many of them are struggling with it and how hard it is for them to do it. But they also understand that, like, I just don't think that it's a gross quote unquote scene or a series of scenes where normies are going to be like, ew, that's too much. Like, that's nasty.
I think you're right. I think it'd be okay.
Yeah.
I told my parents to watch it. And if I tell my parents to watch something, it's definitely going to be okay for normies.
Yeah. I would tell my parents to watch this.
It kind of makes me want to read the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably pretty good.
I imagine. Well, there's very little in the realm of spoilers, but I do kind of want to talk about the narration and stuff. So here is a spoiler break. And now we're ready to talk about it. I thought it was cool. What did you think of them making Numa the narrator?
I mean, I thought it was fine. I guess I didn't really like think anything of it.
Well, because he dies before the end.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like someone had to be, and he seemed like an appropriate character to sort of carry that thread.
Well, usually the narrator is somebody who makes it. That's the only reason I brought it up. Usually, you know, it's like, well, I know this guy lives because he's the narrator. He probably wrote the book. But I liked that they made it somebody who didn't make it, even though he, you know, couldn't really be telling the story. They still made it from his point of view because he was like the emotional core of the movie.
Wait, I'm confused. He died?
Numa dies before the end, yeah.
So I don't think we're talking about the same person.
The guy that he's at the beginning, he's at church when he's not on the rugby team. His friend convinces him to go.
Yeah,
he looked like Adam Driver.
Yeah, okay. Well, then that is, but I thought his name was something else. Oh, I'm just getting him confused with the Nando guy.
Nando is the guy who makes the trek.
Yep, okay. That's all. Enzo is Numa, Adam Driver. Gotcha. It's all together.
And he dies.
Okay.
Before the end.
Okay. I just done confused myself. But now I'm
But
back.
they continue having him narrate, which I liked.
Yeah.
It's kind of your Sunset Boulevard, American Beauty situation where the narrators are dead.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, I kind of liked that concept. Mm-hmm. I think it works well.
I did too. And I loved the rescue stuff. It was really great to see. Well, good. Listeners, that's what we think of Society of the Snow. We both heartily recommend this movie.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear what you think of it. I would love to hear what you think of The Orphanage, too, listeners, if you haven't watched, or if you've watched that one. Because I think that's a really good, underrated little ghost story. Jamie, I think we've watched it together, but...
I think so, yeah. That one actually sounds familiar.
Okay. I'm sure if you saw the picture of the little boy from it, you'd recognize it. He looks a lot like the kid from Trick or Treat, but this was before Trick or Treat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But listeners, let us know what you thought of this movie, what you thought of The Orphanage. You know we love to hear from you. Speaking of which, we got a comment on our last episode from King Cosma. Jamie, do you want to tell us what that comment said?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Let me pull it up here. Because we had asked what you're excited for this year, what you're anticipating.
What you liked from 2023.
And what you liked from 2023.
And what you're excited about from 2024.
Yeah, so King Cosma is excited for Abigail, the new Silent Hill, and maybe Smile 2.
I'm excited for for the new Silent Hill, too.
I also am. Said also that May December was definitely a delightful watch for this year. And Skinamarink was a film I enjoyed, but not sure if it counts towards 2022. I
think so. 2023.
You are entitled. Yeah, you are entitled to that opinion, of course, and I will respect it. And that
I tried, King Cosma. I tried.
I
really
did not.
But I'm glad that it worked for you because I wish it worked for me.
Also said that while not a movie, the Real Housewives series has dominated the second half of 2023 into 2024 for them. And I think that's delightful because there was a stretch of time where I was real into binging that.
Is that right? I didn't know you were a Real Housewives guy.
I wasn't really, but during COVID, when you were just stuck at home and trying to, pulling up anything that would take your mind off things or kill some time. I think it was Real Housewives of Orange County.
Okay.
That I binged through really quick, and I was like, these people are bananas.
You liked it.
They're all way too much. Oh yeah, and just the absurdity and antics of it all.
I can say I've never watched a housewife.
Well, it's not the worst.
I'm a Drag Race guy.
Yeah, well.
Not that I can have more than I can have more than one love.
It's not all there is.
It's true. Although I have every country of Drag Race to catch up on. I've only watched UK, Australia, US, Canada.
Wow.
Italy and the Philippines.
Only, huh?
Well, I'm finishing the Philippines maybe today.
Okay. Well, last bit is they say they're also putting VHS 85 in there.
Oh, yes.
Which we heartily support that, obviously, because we, like you, King Cosma, want them to keep making the VHS movies because...
Goddamn right. We love an anthology.
I just love them. And then, lastly, they mentioned one horror film they watched was Hell House LLC Origins, The Carmichael Manor. Was curious about our opinion on it in case we might want to watch, blah, blah, blah. When I was sick, bedridden earlier this year, I watched the entire series of the Hell House movies. And the first one is obviously delight. I think we've talked about it on the show before. I think the first one is really fun. Have you seen it? Did we talk about it on the show? Okay,
I watched them all recently too over a long weekend. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I've actually really kind of liked all of them. Some are clearly better than others, but I definitely thought Hell House LLC Origins, I thought that was really pretty good.
I thought it was the best one since the first one for sure.
Same here. It was surprisingly better than I could have anticipated going into it. I thought it was
I
just
like the format of those. In fact, I like the format of all of them better than the first one. I like the subsequent ones better than the first one.
Yeah.
Why don't we'll do an episode on that at some point.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I thought that one, I remember there were scenes in that one, the Origins one, that I jumped at and that I thought were very creepy.
Yeah, Kay jumped like 7 times when we watched that.
Yeah, like, did a really good job of making it feel creepy.
Yeah, we should definitely cover that one. And they're all on AMC Plus and Shudder.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say I watched it on Prime.
So they should all be streaming for a while. So let's do that one soon. Thank you for that comment.
Yes.
I better watch a Real Housewives at some point.
They're like reality shows. They're all just so ridiculous. And these broads, come on.
These fucking broads. Well, for my Drag Race fans out there, so far I'm liking the season very much, season 16, and my favorites are Nymphia Wind and Q.
Nymphia Wind
and Q. Those are my 2 favorites right now. They're my picks.
All right.
So let us get to our next movie. We wanted to do another anthology.
Yay.
We
love them.
And we also wanted to see more from Damien Runja, the guy who made When Evil Lurks. So we are reviewing next, in 2 weeks, Satanic Hispanics. It is a $5.99 rental, so we do hope that you will rent it and join us back here in 2 weeks' time, and we'll hash it out together. I love an anthology. I can't wait for this.
Sure do, too.
Can't wait to find some good new talent and see a good short from somebody we already like.
Yeah. Same.
Very excited for that. So please do join us back in a couple weeks, and we'll review that. And until then, listeners, I don't know why we can only have 100 episodes on iTunes, but if you go on our website, thebloodlust.net, you can listen to all of our episodes right from the very beginning. I mean, I don't know how good those are. I haven't listened to them for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like I'd maybe just skip 1 through 20, maybe, is probably generous. We're just finding our feet.
Yeah, but they're all there for you. And you can search particular movies if you want, finding your footing.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You should always know where your feet are, I guess.
I know where mine are. Some people can't see their feet.
Well, that's fair.
But yeah, you can get all of our old episodes on thebloodlust.net if you want. We've covered lots of movies.
Yep.
Weirdly not a Saw until this year, but lots of movies.
That is pretty crazy.
We also haven't done a Purge. One day.
Yeah. I've never seen them, so...
Neither have I.
That would be a fun one. I know Karen Kitty's watched all of them.
Has she?
I think she went through all of them 1 year. Just binged them all.
Well, one of these days I'm going to have to watch a Purge. And we call ourselves horror lovers.
I know.
Well, listeners, that's going to do it for us for this time. This has been episode 244. Is that right?
Yeah.
244. Wow. If you are liking this program, if you wouldn't mind, we would love it if you'd give us a rating and a review on your listening platform of choice. It helps us get seen and heard. Thanking you in advance, us. Jamie, thank you for joining me.
But of course.
And, you look crazy right now.
I do?
So distorted. Yeah, you look like a weird Picasso or something.
Awesome. That's just my nighttime look.
Ah! Should take a screenshot of this. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Listeners, thank you for listening. And until next time, I've been Amy.
And I'm Jamie.
Thank you, good night. And hail Ratma.
Bye.
Bye.